What's up? What's
Yep.
up? Unapologetic Talk. Back again at you with my boy Chucky Atkins and myself, Graham Robinson. Before we get started, I want you guys to like, subscribe, and share. Push the content out to everybody that you know. What's going on, my brother?
Man, another beautiful day in the world, brother. We in the world today, baby. We in the world.
Another day, man. Another day.
Yes, sir.
Sports are us, man.
Always. It don't stop.
No, it don't.
It don't stop. Look, we got new news every day. Every single day.
It's gonna be like that till the season start, man.
It's gonna be like that even when the season over with. Every day something going on. We got basketball, we got football coming up. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. For sure. For sure. So I know we had touched a little bit of Golden State and what's
Mhm.
going on up there. So what's your thoughts about that? I mean, they missed out. They struck out on. I heard they had Giannis a little bit on their eye, on their radar. They struck out on
Mhm.
Braun. They made no moves, man.
Yeah, there's been rumors of, Steph Curry kind of being a little bit PO'd, you know, with the organization. And rightfully so. For a guy such as him to have put as much into the franchise as he has, um, one could argue that he's one of the faces of the NBA.
Yeah,
And at his age, just like LeBron said, I'm pretty sure Steph wants to play meaningful basketball, right? He's been a winner up to this point. He has 4 championship rings, and he feels as though he still has something in the tank. So for the free agency to have gone the way it has gone right now, for those guys to not have made a move
not one move, man.
is bonkers. I mean, obviously they signed Draymond back to a 1-year, $27 million deal, which I think is good for them. They still need that other superstar, right? So, free agency is kind of almost dried up to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do now? I mean, do they make a play? Here's what's interesting. Do they make a play to try to go and get Kevin Durant back?
Well, I mean, I remember we spoke a little bit. I know you mentioned says Detroit is looking at him.
Right.
But if I
Right.
if those were the two teams and I had to choose if I was KD, I would go back to Golden State. I know the
Right.
landscape. I know how everything works. I would go there as opposed to going to possibly Detroit. If I was KD and they came to me like, hey, would you willing to come back? I'll go back. Now my thing is I don't know how things have meshed between him and Draymond over the years. I don't know if that's an issue, if they spoke about it, gotten past it.
Well,
But just on basketball itself, I'll go to Golden State.
one thing that we all know about Draymond Green, I mean, one, he's already sacrificed to try to take less money to go out there and find another superstar.
Mhm.
So when a guy makes that type of gesture, it's all about winning with him. So if management can go out and make a move and go and bring back a talent such as KD, I'm pretty sure Draymond will put all his differences aside because he still wants to win. You know what I'm saying? That was the reason why he took less money because remember they were trying to get Bron, but now that Bron is off the market and he's made his decision to go to Philadelphia, you know, KD could be the next target
But do you
up until the season
but
starts. You
do,
know what I'm saying?
but do you think it's I don't think it's I don't think it's Draymond. I think it's KD because he was the one that was called to be. I think
Well,
is that would he be able to get past that? Because Draymond wasn't. He was,
well,
you know.
I, I mean, if you're KD, you know, based on the history of the last 2 teams that you've been on, I'm pretty sure he would want to win as well.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? Because that's the reason why he was making the comments that he was making because he was a little bit disturbed that they weren't winning. That was the reason why he had the burner accounts, you know. And and he's one of those guys who he's coming up towards the end of his days as well. So,
That's yep.
you know, right now winning oversees everything, supersedes everything.
Yeah, because I think Curry's about to be 30, 39, 38, 39.
38
So
or
yeah,
39.
so them boys
So
that they walking it down.
Yeah, they're walking it down, and you know he still feels like as though he has something left in him. Taking the last thing you want to do with your franchise guy, a guy who's given as much as he has to their franchise, is to have him out there playing
Meaningless,
useless,
meaningless
yeah,
basketball.
meaningless basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done too much for that franchise. When he got there, those guys were, I wouldn't necessarily say they were the laughing stock of the league,
Nah,
but
you can say that. You can say that,
they
bro.
were they were at the bottom, and you know the organization made some moves and got Steph and got Draymond and got Clay, and in 3 years they were at the top. They were the toast of the league.
Yep.
So with all that he's done for that franchise, they kind of owe it to him to put him in a situation and to build stuff, put stuff around him so that he could at least be competitive, at least be a team that can fight for the championship.
So let's go into a scenario that Steph leaves. Where would you think would be the best place for Steph to go? Not saying that's what's being reported, nothing like. But if Steph was to say, you
Right.
know what, I've done what I had to do here. I'm willing to go. What would be a fit? Where would be a fit? Do you think he stay east, go to stay west, go to the east? What you think?
I mean, Steph Curry can go play anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just from my own pleasure, because I'm a huge Steph Curry fan, I would like to see him play in Orlando. If I'm not mistaken,
He love that
they
golf.
and if I'm not mistaken, they own property down here in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think that a guy such as Steph Curry coming to the Orlando with some good youthful players that are star players like Paolo and Franz, I think those guys could learn a lot from him, and he could possibly teach those guys, how to win. But that would be. I know they're not talking about that, but at some point in time, that could possibly happen.
That'll be something. I mean, I never really, to be honest, I actually that question, but I never thought about it myself. Where would I see Steph if I saw him outside of Golden State?
It would be weird to see him in any other uniform. You know how you have superstars that play for one franchise, and the first thing you think of when you hear that franchise is those guys' face. Like when you hear the Chicago Bulls, you immediately think of Michael Jordan.
Right.
It was weird to see him in a
Wizards.
Washington Wizard jersey. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You heard of the New York Knicks back in the day. It was weird to see Patrick Ewing win another uniform,
Yeah.
win a Magic uniform or a
Magic.
Seattle
Yeah.
Sonics uniform. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So Steph Curry you know, he has put the Golden State Warriors on the map. And every time you hear Golden State, you think of Steph Curry, you
Yeah.
think of Draymond Green, you think of those guys. So it would be weird to see them guys in another uniform.
Yeah. I agree. I agree to that for sure. If I had to pick Steph, I like to see him go to a team like I couldn't believe I saw him to the Spurs. I could see him staying on the West Coast though. I don't think he'll move to the East. But that Orlando idea wouldn't be bad. I mean, I'm a Magic fan myself, so hey, I would advocate for my damn team. Shit,
And the only reason why I said Orlando is because he has property here. His brother's married to Doc Rivers' daughter.
daughter, yeah,
So, they still have property down here in Orlando. Orlando is kind of close to Golden State, someplace where it's going to be sunny, someplace where he can get out on his off days and play golf, someplace where he could, again, be the piece that could possibly get that franchise and that organization over the hump. And it would be cool to see Steph Curry come to the Orlando Magic
that'd be different
and,
right
and,
there.
and like just imagine what that would do for his legacy, being able to come to Orlando and help these young guys win their first ever championship in franchise history versus going to some place where they have a history of winning. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you said that just now. You gave me some eerie flashbacks of Nick Anderson and them damn free throws, boy. God damn, when you said that, took me back. He took me back, boy. Good Lord Almighty. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be dope, man. I mean, I would love to be able to be alive to see them damn Magic hoist that damn trophy up.
Man, man, what you say? Like hey, look, we've been fortunate enough to see them in the finals twice. We've
Yeah,
seen them in '95, and then we seen them in '9 in was it
I
2009
think it was
or
around that time.
2010?
Yeah,
Yeah, against the Lakers. So we were fortunate to see them reach the finals twice. They didn't get over the hump, but it would definitely be nice to see the Orlando Magic win a championship in this lifetime.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I would love to see that, and I'd love to see the Cowboys win in my life.
Well, you definitely close to seeing the Dallas Cowboys,
Well, I hope,
you
man.
know,
I
but
hope. Good Lord.
that's another conversation for another
Yeah,
time.
that's another conversation for another time. So then I got a question. So thus far, who do you think is the biggest winners and the biggest losers in the off season thus far in the NBA? We'll go start with the winners.
The biggest winners, obviously, I would say would be you have to put the Philadelphia 76ers up there at number
Yeah,
one.
I agree.
They got the big fish, the face of the league, and they got an MVP candidate.
And the final.
So when you add that to your roster, like, and then as you see, you know, another thing that's happening that's not really being paid attention to is all these other guys, these role guys, these good role pieces, um, kind of falling into place. KCP being bought out and getting and signing with the Sixers, like. Anthony Simons, like people not saying anything about him, but he's a guy who can come off the bench and light it up for those guys.
Yep.
So, I would say that they're the biggest winners. As far as the losers go, um, I would have to put the Detroit Pistons up there,
Okay.
right? And the reason why I would say the Detroit Pistons is they were a team that had high hopes. They were the number one seed last year going into the playoffs. They struggled with Orlando. They end up losing in the second round to Cleveland in a 7-game series. And right now, one of their key players, they have not signed. Um, they've gotten rid of Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew, who, to me, in my opinion, was a guy who represented the city and was a blue collar worker. They did a lot of
Tough
dirty
guy.
work for the Pistons.
Yeah, he did do all the dirty
Um,
work.
they still have not signed the big guy, the big fella,
During.
Duran, and what happens if he don't come back, or what happens if he do come back and he didn't get the money that he wants, and he's disgruntled. They have not made any other moves. I mean, they got Isaiah Joe from uh from Oklahoma City, which I thought was a really good pickup, but then they lose Tobias Harris, who played a critical part for them last year,
Oh, he did in the
and is a
playoffs.
and was a glue piece, somebody that you can depend on every single night. So, you know, from my liking, I would put them in the losers bracket,
Okay.
right? Um,
What you think about Minnesota?
I think that Minnesota they're gonna be in the race. They're gonna be in the fight. LaMelo going to them makes them, you know, better, but I don't know how much better, right? Because
It's gonna be more entertain. I think it's gonna be more entertainment
you
than
have to
anything.
you have to understand that when you watch LaMelo ball, and I like watching him play because he's very, very entertaining and his skill set is high. But I don't know if you can have a lot of useless possessions in a playoff series. And he's a guy who have not been to the playoffs
No,
yet. Like the closest he came was this year when they was in the playoff or the playing
playing.
games.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? That's not being in a 7-game series, where the intensity is super duper high. You're on the road, you're at home. And again, he has to get used to playing playoff basketball. I think in Charlotte, they were so up and down to where, they had a lot of useless possessions, a lot of just coming down and flinging that ball up at the rim. And in the West Coast, you know, that's a lot different from the East Coast where you got more possessions and guys are shooting the ball more. It's going to be interesting to see how the dynamics between him and Ant-Man
Yeah,
work out. And
that's what I'm
then,
wondering. Him and Ant Man.
right.
Yeah.
And then, you still got Scottie Pippen over there, the defender, the 6'10" Daniels. Like that dynamic, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think one of the things I said they're trying to see if they can find a power forward because that's something they lost Randall. They're trying to see what they can find to fill that void. But with
So,
them,
so do they go out and make a play for Jalen Durham?
If they got the money, I don't see why they don't. If Detroit wants, if Detroit's letting them go out there and test the market, throw a number out there. You want them, you're gonna have to pay for them to keep them. But you might as well. I mean, why not? Because at least they'll give you some inside presence because you're not going to get much from Rudy Gobert on the offensive end. So you might as well pick up somebody that can get you. If he can average what he averaged, like 19, 20 last year, you can pick.
You lost Julius Randle and you lost Nas Reed.
Yeah. See, and the thing about Reed is he could stretch the floor because he could shoot.
Right.
So you lost a stretch and you lost some power inside. So but if you can make a play for Duran, why not? I don't know what their cap space looks like because I think right now there's only one team that's in the second apron, and I think it's Denver. Strangely to believe it, but if you can make a play for him, go get it, man. Because y'all need to replace that inside. You want to have some type of inside presence. You don't want to be completely guard oriented between Ant Man and Lamelo.
And and going back to that winning, that like which team has won, I would like to put Miami in that and on the winning side, but
I don't know, man. I just don't
you know,
see.
since since they've made that move, they've been dormant to where like no one. I don't know what it is about Miami right now that you know free agent guys and really good basketball players don't want to go to Miami and like and play like
My opinion,
it's
bro.
it's crazy.
I think my opinion to that is Pat Riley, man. I think the fact that he runs such a straight ship and he ain't with the BS. I think the issue is these guys nowadays don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? I think he's a little bit. I don't know if he needs to change with the time slightly a little bit, but guys don't want that rigid. You know, I mean, with Pat, you got to come in. You got to come in
Yeah,
shape.
but
You know.
but I mean, but what if some guys need that,
Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't think the kids.
right?
I don't think these kids today want that type of leadership. I don't think they want that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree because that's good. You come. No, you're a professional athlete. You in the off season.
Right,
Keep yourself in
right,
shape. I'm with you.
right.
I'm just thinking. I don't know if these kids want that rigid type of leadership. I don't think they want that. Because if you
Yeah,
think
but don't
about it,
you
they always
agree?
talk about he culture. The culture really wasn't. I mean, when they say he culture, outside of the time when LeBron and them were there, really you don't see what's considered really the Heat culture per se. They play. I will say they play hard. No matter what, they're gonna play hard. They're gonna play defense. But like you said, nobody wants to come there. For you have Sproach is a good coach. You got Pat
Spo's one of
Riley
the
in
best
the
coaches in the game. He's one of the best coaches in the game.
100%. And if you can't, so it's a reason why they can't. And you're in Miami. You're in a tax free state. It's a reason why they can't get nobody. And I'm attributing that to maybe Pat Riley's way of how he runs his ship. I think that some guys don't want to deal with that disciplinary type of mentality. That's my opinion. I don't know. They can't get
Right.
nobody. I mean, they got Giannis, but you're right. After Giannis, it's kind of like
Like, what do you like? You they haven't gotten anybody else to come
anybody,
down there.
and they and they
They got Giannis and they got Bobby
Portis.
Portis. You know what I'm saying? Like those were really good pickups,
Oh,
but
definitely.
they gotta have to have somebody. They're gonna have to have somebody to play
And I think
with them.
I kind of think Giannis and Bam sort of cancel each other out position wise because they're both not shooters. Everything's at the rim for both of them for the most part. You, I don't see how
So
that's going to really work. I just don't see it.
I think D Wade had a little bit to do with that as well. You got to understand, like before LeBron James got down there, it was Wade County,
Yeah,
right? So when it was Wade County, you know everything was going through Dwayne Wade, and they had won their first championship with Wade, right? But then Wade took a back seat. Well, I ain't gonna say he took a back seat because he don't take no back seat to nobody. He was just that damn good. He got in the passenger seat and let LeBron drive the car and brought in Chris Bosh and sacrificed for that whole thing to happen. And then when it was time for him to get his money,
they were like,
they end up not paying him. They end up not paying him and then trading him. So I think that kind of turned a lot of guys off as well. Like, if you could do that to Dwayne Wade and the city is called Wade County, then
yeah.
you know, you couple that with the rigid, tough structure, the heat culture and all of that, and that could possibly be why guys don't want to go down
And
there.
it could be. It could be because Miami, bro. If you're young, you would.
Right.
I'll probably go to Miami than Milwaukee or Boston or some of these other cities. So yeah, that's tough. So out west, who do you think's a team?
Huh?
Who do you think's a team to beat? Do you think it's still OKC, or do you think it like between them two? Who do you think the guard's going to have to go through, OKC or the Spurs? Like who? Who?
My personal opinion right now, just going by what I seen last year, um, it's gonna be a little bit different next year for Oklahoma City. And I would like to say that they're gonna be the favorites to win the West again, but man, they're losing a lot of guys. Like Isaiah Joe played an important part coming off the bench, knocking down shots and being a defender. Lou Dort's gone.
He's going.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to Atlanta. He played a pivotal part of being that lockdown defender, that dog on defense, and being a 3-and-D guy. He hit some big shots for those guys. A lot of times when they're dead in the water, you know what I'm saying? And obviously they bring in the kid Mara, but they got to create that chemistry all over again with new guys that you're trying to replace that have played big time minutes and have made big time plays in critical situations. So it's hard to just automatically put them up there over everybody just because they have Shea, right? Me personally, like I was saying, I, it's gonna be hard to beat them San Antonio Spurs, man.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be tough to beat them boys. But I think the
Yeah, it's
San
gonna be
Antonio
tough.
Spurs is going to run into the same problem that OKC ran into. In that when it's time to pay, you can't pay them all unless you're willing to sacrifice and take a pay cut, like Wemby did. Wemby took a pay cut. So
Right.
are they going to be like, well, hey, if he took a pay cut, y'all need to do the same thing? Will they do that, or will guys say, you know what? No, I'm good. I'll take my talent somewhere else.
What's more important to you? Do you want to win? Hey, man, do you want to sacrifice a couple of dollars and be a part of a winning culture, some place where we're trying to get something accomplished, or do you want to run off into the sunshine, and go get you the money?
But see,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not that nothing. I disagree with you, but when it's tough for a guy that's let's use just for I know he's going, but I'm using for this example. It's tough for a guy like Dort to say that because outside of his NBA money, he's not going to make what Wemby's going to make in other industries. Between
Right.
shoes and Nike and what other things he might got going on in France. So I could understand Wemby saying, I could take less because I know I'm going to make it up on the back end doing other things. A guy like a Dort, this is where most of my money's going to come from. So it's kind of like I understand what you're saying. What do you want to do? But if you're not a guy
Right.
that's like a Williams
Well,
or
it's
Shea, you might say, man, I'm
right.
gonna take that money, man, because I don't have the opportunities y'all gonna
Well,
have.
but here's the thing: is that's one way that you can look at it. But always remember that the NBA values winners,
Hmm.
right? The one thing that Lou Dort has done is won a championship and he has been a key piece on the championship team. So he'll make the money. He'll make the money back. You know what I'm saying? It may be structured a little bit differently, but he'll make a significant amount of money going forward because every team is looking for that championship caliber player, right? Hey man, it's the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, if Wemby can take less money and you can get Jalen, Harper to take a little less money, you can get Castle to take a little less money, and they win a championship. Man, those guys can go someplace else when it's time for them to re up and get and demand whatever type of money that they want to demand. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, ultimately, yes. If they were to win, and that's the thing, because obviously, winning is not guaranteed to anybody. So that's true. They'll be able to use that leverage to say, hey, I got a ring. Y'all got to pay me now.
Right,
Um.
right,
So yeah, I agree. I think I think out the West, they're gonna be the team to beat. I think OKC. One thing about OKC, because they have the draft pick they got up to 2030, they're going to be
right.
re up in every 3 years. It's going to be an influx of new talent
Exactly.
coming in
Right,
because
right,
they got the draft capital to do so.
right.
Um,
I mean, and there's gonna be some other little teams that we're not mentioning right now. That's gonna make a splash. Like the Utah Jazz ain't far off. Um, they got to remain healthy, and then they got to get their chemistry. They're a young team, up and coming. It's going to be interesting to see what the Houston Rockets going to do because they got good young talent,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So there's up and coming teams. Minnesota, let's see how they come together. You got Ant-Man, who's one of the top three talents in the league,
yeah.
along with LaMelo Ball and Jaden McDaniels. So those guys gonna be in the mix. We just don't know how they're gonna look right now. But Ant-Man, Minnesota done been to the Western Conference Finals and the semifinals for the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
But I think, but it's been
So
a,
though,
but I mean, I like Ant Man too, and I can't see him leaving Minnesota or wanting out of Minnesota. But that's gonna be tough out to get people that want to come out there to play him in Minnesota. I think that's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be a hard sell to get a cat to come up to Minnesota
well,
with all the other tough teams that you got to deal with coming in the West. I think it's gonna be tough.
right, right. Well, time will reveal all.
I mean, it will. I like him. I think he's a great player. He's a good player. Um, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that go up there in
Right.
Minnesota. Um, and I guess so. A quick buy or sell
Mm-hmm.
questions. Real quick question. Do you think Andy Edwards will ever request a trade in the next 2 years? Do you buy or sell that?
I'm buying.
I'm buying too. I think if they go this year and it's just another year of like high expectations and performance is just not that great, I can see him saying, you know what, like KG, just leave a little bit earlier than KG because KG really just gave Minnesota so much
Yeah.
chances.
Right.
I can see
And,
him
and
saying,
you
I'm
and
out.
you and you have to understand, like, think about this. As it stands right now, which conference do you think is the hardest? You would probably say the Western Conference, right? So it's going to be a harder road for him to get to the finals over there in the Western Conference. And if people are feeling that Minnesota in the destination that they want to go to, got to go up there, you got to deal with that cold, and they don't have a team good enough of getting to the finals, they're not going.
Yep.
And I could see Ant-Man being like LeBron and KD. Hey, man, I don't want to sit here in Minnesota and waste my talent and waste years.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? When I can go to a place like Atlanta or go down to Miami and help help Giannis and possibly get to the finals because the Eastern Conference ain't as tough as the Western Conference. Once I get there, hey man, anything can possibly happen once I get there, but I need to get there.
I
So
mean,
yeah, I'm buying.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm buying too. I can see him saying, yeah, my welcome's been gone here. I need to find somewhere else to go. And I can see that being to the East because of what you said. So I did see something today regarding that though, and some are saying the East might be a little bit catching up to them because they said the top two teams right now in the East are New York, and then you had Philly. That's what they. But then they said the Magic is a team to contend with.
Absolutely.
They said the Hawks may be a surprise. What will Indiana do now that Halliburton's coming back and they got some stuff going on? What will Indiana do? Because
Okay.
in the West they was just saying pretty much OKC, and they said the Spurs. But really,
Okay.
who
What
else?
about Denver? What about Denver?
I am surprised Denver didn't move off of Murray. I thought Murray was going to be gone, to be honest. But Denver's still up there.
Winning.
Yeah, Gordon's still
Right?
there.
And Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon was hurt all last
Yes,
year.
yeah,
And his playmaking abilities with the pass. So, you know, a healthy Aaron Gordon side next to the Joker, and you're letting Jamal Murray run around, and if he can have anything close to the season he had when they won it all, I mean, anything can happen. Hey, man, they get off to a good start. They get off to a top four seeding in the Western Conference, and the GM make a trade and land somebody else that could help them get over the hump.
I mean, it's
We got a
possible.
ball game.
It's
We
possible.
got a ball game. Game on. So, there's a lot of things There's a lot of moving parts, man. It's a lot of basketball to be played. It's a lot of decisions to be made, and this is probably the first year out of a lot of years where you could toss the ball up in the air and be like, "Hey, man, anybody can win this thing."
And my last buy or sell question: in the next 2 years, buy or sell, does LeBron get a ring in the next 2 years? One of these 2 years, do you think it's buy or sell?
Woo! Woo! I'm gonna say bye, and the only reason why I'm gonna say bye is I'm gonna go with history, right? Every team that LeBron James has every organization that LeBron James has played for, within 2 to 3 years, they end up winning the championship.
2 to 3, but he only has two that we
Right.
know of.
Right. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't think that they would win it this year
Mhm.
because
It's
it's gonna
tough.
take some
It's
getting
tough.
used to.
Yeah, first year.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, right? Um, but you never know, man. You still got moves. I mean, you still got moves being made. Like, you know, I, I heard something today about Drew Holiday getting a buyout and going to Philly. So, like, there's a lot of decisions still being made behind closed doors, man, that we just got to sit back and wait till the time comes to say, okay, hey, man, talent,
Yeah.
stockpile talent. They're trying to stockpile talent. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. But I would say bye. I would say bye.
I want to say bye to what you said about in the 2 years wherever he's been in the first 1 or 2 years he's gotten a team to the finals, and then the second year Miami they won. I think yeah, second year in LA they won. Second year in Miami they won. So yeah, I want to say that too, and I think a big thing to what you said too is who might they pick up, who might get bought out, and they want to come there on their last, give it their last hurrah. And one more thing I mentioned, I've been listening to some people talk, man, and it baffles me. So a lot of people saying it's championship or bust for LeBron if he goes to Philly, right? Now that he's in Philly,
Mhm.
championship or bust, and I don't understand how if he doesn't win as a failure because he has ring. I would look at Embiid like, hey, you a 2-time MVP. You finally have a team around you that's a legitimate team because Brown's one, so I won't put pressure on Brown because he's got one.
Right.
Maxi's still young, but Embiid, this is I will say why it's not an indictment on, bro. This is your best time, but
Well, I honestly, and this is how things kind of get distorted. I think that statement is championship or bust. That applies to everybody on the team. That's not just a LeBron thing. That's everybody on the team. Because if you look at it right now, if you look at teams that on paper right now, the odds in Vegas is that the Philadelphia 76ers is going to win it,
win it
right?
or
If you had to
get
bet,
there. Actually win it.
win it. They got people saying that they're going to win it.
Oh
Think about this.
wow.
They were in line to be the favorite by just getting Jalen Brown. Now you've putting Jalen Brown and you've put LeBron James on the same team to go with two-time MVP, Joel Embiid, and one of the hottest, baddest young point guards in the league, Tyrese Maxey, and one of the baddest, youngest two-way players, VJ Edgecombe. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah,
The
it's
expectations are
championship.
gonna be high. It's definitely gonna be some expectations. I tell you that.
It's champion, and you in Philadelphia. You ain't in Charlotte. You ain't in Washington. You in Philadelphia. Like them people don't play about their
No,
sports.
they don't. Them boys
That's
crazy over
like
there.
that's the closest thing to like being in Boston. Like they get out there and they go to messing around in Lolly. Them people will boot them up out of Philadelphia, bro.
Oh, they will. Oh, they will. You best believe that. They don't play over there, boy.
Yeah, they not playing. So yeah, the Philadelphia 76ers is championship or bust for them right now. Cause they ain't gonna never get no roster this deep again.
No, no, I agree. So top,
And LeBron James ain't getting younger,
no, he ain't. And neither is Embiid, and neither is all them other guys. So you better take advantage of it while you can.
right? Now, what happens if Embiid go down? What happened if LeBron go down? Hey man, he 42. You know, you get out there and you playing them games. No one wants to go down. No one wants those guys to get hurt or get injured, but things happen. All right. Then what?
Yeah,
So
That's when
like,
Maxie and Brown gonna have to do their
right.
thing.
But hey, some could happen to one of them. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just putting out hypotheticals. Like, you know, part of winning a championship, you got to be a little bit. You got to have a little luck on your
Yeah,
side. You got to stay
yeah,
healthy.
you do. Gotta have a lot of luck.
You know, you got to. So those are all factors that we'll see how it works out, man. Because not only staying healthy, guys got to check their egos at the door. Guys got to take guys got to take roles that they may have never played before. Uh, guys got to accept the role that they're being asked to play.
Yep.
So there's a lot of moving parts that we're going to say, you know, hey, either this gonna work or it's not gonna work. You know, just like I know, when teams come with all of that amount of talent on it, they're gonna get every team in the NBA's best game every
Every
night.
night. Every night. Truth be told, bro, if I was them, I'd go try to get Dwight Howard over there as a backup.
Hey, listen, man, them people ain't messing with Dwight Howard, man.
Hey
Dwight
man,
Howard done, bro.
man, Dwight Howard still play. He's still active. He might be over there overseas, but he active. He's a big body. You could lob it to him. You know he gonna play defense. He the NF
I don't think they
he
can
the
beat him.
NBA he the NBA TO
So,
man. That boy
so,
keep
so you
himself.
saying, Dwight would be the insurance policy,
I mean, he's a good backup. You know he's gonna play defense. He's gonna play defense. If anything else, you
right?
know he's a lob threat,
Right,
he's definitely in better shape than Embiid. You know,
right,
so I mean, hey, he's played with LeBron before, and if you're a guy like a Maxi, hey, the lob
mhm,
is always there. But one thing you
right.
know, for because last year I saw in the playoffs they were ranked of the 16 teams, they were ranked 14th in team defense. So defense is still something that they're going to have to need. You got a guy like that anchoring your defense. I don't care how old he is. People know the White ain't no slouch on defense. He gonna go for blocks. He gonna play hard. If I was them, I'd make a run and say, hey, man, vet minimum, come on over here. You want to play? I'll bring him in.
Mm.
I don't know why LA let him go in the first place. He did good for what they needed him to do.
I think a lot of the stuff that dealt with Dwight and the reason why they got rid of him had nothing to do with what he was doing on the court. I think it was
I,
just some off court issues that he may have had. But
I,
you know, that's neither here nor there,
I
man. Like,
agree. I mean, at the end of
you
the day,
know,
hey, man, what you do with they put up with it with Dennis Rodman.
right,
You
right,
know, they put up
right.
with it with all the shenanigans he did. Long as you came in them white lines and you played with and you did your job, we'll let you go to Vegas to the damn playoffs and gamble and party. Long as you got you know, long as your production is still there, they'll put up with it.
All right. So look, last thing, okay? Check this out. Kendrick Perkins got on TV the other day and kind of slashed KD a little bit for working out with Paolo Banchero. You know, there's a video online showing KD working out with another guy that plays his same position. And Kendrick Perkins lashed out and said that's the type of leadership that he should have been showing the guys and younger guys on his team
Okay.
instead of creating a burner account and criticizing those guys. Tell me your thought process on that and tell me if was he right? Was he wrong? What do you think?
At first, when you started off, I was like, "Damn, Perk." But then when you went on and you gave me the he ain't wrong, bro. If you felt that those dudes that you on your team are lacking in a certain area, you being the veteran that you are, the superstar that you are, the top 75 player that you are, champion that you are, you take them boys in the off. Hey, come with me this off season. We gonna work. You don't call them out. You work with them. You see what they're not doing. You show them what you're doing. They're your teammates. You want to be able to go to war and be able to trust them. Y'all come work out with me this summer. You came there your first year. You see what they could do, couldn't do, what they're lacking. This year, this summer, you and I are together.
But but maybe leadership isn't something that that he's ever done.
You're right. That's something he's even said that in the past. However,
Yeah, KD's a professional bucket getter.
but the thing
So
is, I can even though I'm a professional bucket getter, I can't score 120 points by myself or whatever it is by myself. I'm gonna need somebody one of these games to have my back. One, two. I'm an older statesman in the league. I'm a veteran. They know me. I'm been successful. Why not pass what you've learned on to somebody that's gonna come after you? Because you're gonna retire soon. It'll be good to say just for conversation. Say one of them guys say, "Hey man, KD showed me this. I learned from him." How many guys are really gonna probably say that? Really none, because he doesn't do that. I would think that would have been a great thing to pull them guys, bring some of them dudes working with you and Paulo. So they can see what it's like to work with superstars. But you should definitely do that with your teammates. That could probably bring the bond of y'all closer. Rather you make a burner account say, hey, man, that dude's sorry, man. I don't even know why I be past that dude, but why he even shooting? Which one you think is more detrimental to the team? You come work out with me, we talk about it. If you're trying to win with said team. You gotta be a leader, man. Yeah, he might not be that, but damn, bro, these are your teammates. It ain't gotta be. This is off season. This is not hey, Kitty on the court. We need off season. Y'all gonna come work out with me this summer. We gonna take a month off, 3 weeks. We gonna work together. Then y'all could do what y'all do if y'all want to, but we gonna work together for 3 weeks. Then doing with Powell, that's good because he's gonna learn something from Paulo. Paulo's gonna learn something from him. Paulo's a superstar. He can go back to the Magic, do his thing. But why don't you work with the guys that's trying to help that you need to help win? Paulo ain't gonna help you win. He gonna try to bust your head when he see you. Why not try to work with the guys that you work with so y'all can build a camaraderie? They can build some trust in you. They can say, okay, all right, I've gotten to know him a little bit better for what?
look,
Okay.
better yet, you could learn to trust them.
But if you don't want to, but not doing that and then talking about them, that just opens a divide even more. So I agree with Perkins. I agree with that, man. That's your teammates, man. If you want to win, you got to work with what you got inside your house. To work inside your house, you put in the work. You might not want to be a leader on the court, but this is off season. Let's go work out together. And you can still go work out with Ben Carroll, but you damn sure should be working out with them dudes on your teams that you are going to go to war with next season. So I agree with Perkins. I agree.
I agree with Perk too when I heard him say that. And that leadership piece. Hey, regardless of whether he wants to be a leader or not, those young guys grew up watching KD. So they look up to him, whether he wants to be the leader or not,
Exactly.
right? So, when you start creating burner accounts, those guys are going to I'm pretty sure they were disappointed. Like, damn, man, when you grow up watching somebody and you kind of probably have some of those guys probably have idolized him and mimicked their game after him, and to find out that he was talking about them, and then regardless of that, but like you said, hey man, one thing I know about KD stay in that gym.
Hmm.
Hey man, my bad for what I said, man. I was wrong for that, man. But let's get in this gym, man. Let's get this thing together so that we can win next year.
That's leadership, and that's leadership that we all don't have to know. That could just be something that you talk amongst them, and
Right.
they'll be like they respect him. We don't care what the outside noise is. I know what he said to me. I apologize. Let's go work. But to just go
Right.
work with somebody else, and he say it's kind of like, oh man, yeah, this dude, yeah, he's not.
Hey, no, that's like throwing gas on the fire from everything that was said on the burner account. Here we go again.
Again.
Here we go again. First it was this. Now he in the gym with somebody else that ain't even on our team. Like, man, what's up with this dude?
And most likely Ben
And
Carroll's gonna end up getting
and
better from
and
that.
and what ends up happening is now you have no chance because man, we off him, man. We off, bro. He ain't. We off him. We ain't listening to nothing he say. He did to us.
And
You know what I'm
how
saying?
you think it's gonna be on the floor?
Oh, it's gonna be a good thing. I can tell you that.
Are they gonna ISO people out? Ain't nobody gonna get the ball. Certain people gonna get passes. They're gonna get late passes or no pass. It's just gonna be an S show. It's gonna be an S show over there. And Yeah, that's a bad look because I bet you Paolo's gonna gain something from it, and he's gonna take that jump back to the Magic, work out with them guys on his team, and then bam, they're gonna grow. But the Houston Rockets guys are gonna stay where they are and not get improved, no improvement. So yeah, that's a bad look, man.
Well, that's the end of another episode of Unapologetic. We're your hosts, Chucky Atkins and Graham I am. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because we're nothing without you guys. We appreciate y'all and we'll see y'all again
Sir,
tomorrow.
later.
Peace.